Hi Urbana, this is Bridget Broihahn and welcome to this edition of It's All About You. Welcome to Chief Seraphin. Thank you for being on It's All About You.
You're welcome.
Well, spring is in the air, Chief, and we're wondering how does this affect the Urbana Police Department in terms of policing and coverage for the community?
The fun thing about warmer weather is it gives us a chance to sort of get out of our squad cars and do some things that maybe snow and sleet and sub-zero temperatures won't allow us to do. Specifically with regards to like equipment, one of the things that we really like to use is our mountain bikes. And so the officers get a chance to use those mountain bikes. They're assigned different areas of town and they can go out and ride those bikes. What's fun about that is it gives you, it's different.
Yeah.
So for the officers, that's an interesting component to that. There's a little bit of exercise. So if they do want to have that second cheeseburger at lunch, they might hopefully will burn that off. And the other thing then is it allows the citizens to interact with the officers.
Which we do a good job at anyway, I think,
thank you.
as police officers.
But that does give a chance when the kids are out in the park and the officers ride through. Sometimes people think about mountain bikes and policing as more of a warm weather place only sort of event, but indeed we do allow, we do have I think 3 whole bikes in our fleet, and we'll like to get those out as the weather turns. So as the grass greens up, the officers, you should see some out and about, some on regular shifts, and especially during special events like 4th of July parades or the Illinois Marathon.
We heard that you guys have body cameras now. Could you tell us about that?
Urbana was one of the last of the local Champaign County law enforcement agencies to go to body cameras, and part of that was the biggest piece was going to be the financial component to make sure that we could do that and get it accomplished in a way that we thought was thoughtful and efficient and frugal to a certain degree.
Yeah, well, we want to be judicious to the people of Urbana.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so when and we'll get to this when we talk about squad cars in a minute, as when we hit the list of equipment items here, those body cams, we kind of joined forces when we were switching the squad car. So that's how we were able to sort of make the financial commitment. All the officers now will be wearing these devices here. It's, I guess, maybe about the size of a pack of cigarettes. It's clearly heavier. But these are they're usually be worn in some sort of forward-facing manner. We don't tell the officers exactly how to wear them, just like we don't tell them exactly where to put everything on their belt. But you'll see them somewhere in, most likely, somewhere like this.
And in the upper body
in the
region.
upper body region. The lens does flex upward, so in certain non-traditional uniforms, whether it's plainclothes or detectives, you might actually see them on a belt, and then they can actually angle. They can actually angle that lens piece upward. They have been, for the most part, no issues in the first few months that we've had them out. I think we'll see a little more benefit when the new squad car fleet comes out with regards to, we'll see more benefit with regards to the operation of these and how smooth and the interaction for the officers when the new squad cars get all out, because the new squad cars then will have a matching system.
Oh, I was wondering why.
In the squad car. That's exactly right. So we had our system in our old fleet of squad cars. They are 4 years old, or they're nearing their 4th year. And for a police car, that's a long time.
Really?
It's a lot of hard driving. It's a lot of stop-start driving.
Lots
it's
of
a lot of
miles.
idling. It's a lot of those kinds of. They're very hard miles. So as we go to change the new squad cars, and there's one right behind us here.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
As that happens, we will put in new video camera systems into these cars, which marry up the same make and brand as these. So the squad cars, some of the equipment, when we flip a fleet, will come from the old cars. So for instance, some of the lights, some of the back seats.
Because those are fine, they still work.
Some of the back seats will fit over, and as long as we stay within this particular make and model and configuration. So we went a couple years ago when we went from sedans to the SUV, there was a lot of purchasing that had to go on for the first time. Now we're able to carry over some of those things. One of the things we're not carrying over is the actual squad car video system. That we're buying the umbrella system that includes body cams. So we're going to have the same system will be in the squad car, and it will be the same system that's the officers are wearing, and it will also be the same system that's in our detective interview rooms. So somebody will know how to run all of this. When you know one piece, sort of that software will be the same.
So let's say you and I are both police officers, and you really are one, but if we're together, are we both going to have on a body cam?
Yes. Yes.
That's good, because then you'll get things from different perspectives.
Absolutely, and that's a good point, Bridget, because a lot of times people will tend to think that a body cam now is the end-all, be-all. We know exactly what happens. And as I've said numerous times, if the NFL can have unknown numbers of cameras on a Sunday afternoon and we still can't quite tell if the foot was inbounds or out of bounds, or was it pass interference or was it not, as evidently they're going to review this fall. Those kinds of things are hard, and it's going to be just as hard when we have these. These aren't necessarily going to tell us everything. When it comes to evaluating an event, this will be another piece, just like the witness who was standing in the gas station parking lot, who saw the event occur, just like the surveillance system from the gas station, just like the squad car that was pulling in, and just like the body camera that an officer may be wearing. All of those things will be used to determine what happened, not just any one piece of.
Well, and it helps you get to what really happened. It's a composite that makes. I just think this makes sense.
Correct. And the legal term is usually used as totality of the circumstances, which is that, hey, all the circumstances, let's get all of them. This adds another piece to that, and so it allows us to capture more evidence. It allows us to do a variety of things that we couldn't necessarily do before.
That's really great.
Good.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, we've talked about the squad cars. Tell us about them. This is beautiful.
Well, it's new. I can tell you that. I will also add that, as you can see, as a matter of fact, one of the old ones is right next to it, behind us a little bit further. So, although that one has dents and scrapes, these are new. We slowly shift them over throughout the course of it takes us a couple of months to get one fleet switched over to the other. We do essentially one at a time.
Oh, so that you don't just bring them all in and
No, we don't hand out all new keys. There's quite a bit of stuff that has to get switched over.
Okay.
Everything from the in-car computers to as you know now, the new body cameras to all of the lights. And we're constantly looking at ways to maybe do things a little bit differently. Like this one right behind us here actually has lights in the grill. The old ones do not, so we'll try to look at different ways to do things. A lot of the lights is to make sure that we're visible. We can make sure that the citizens can see us if indeed we're trying to stop them, or simply get around them to go to another emergency, or not to get hit when the car is parked and blocking perhaps a crash.
So, with the warm weather coming, summer months, vacations, tell us something that can help you guys while you're on vacation.
Well, one of the things that we have is we do offer what's called a vacation watch, which is essentially the citizen will notify us. They can either call, or we have an email on the website that someone can send in. It says something similar to, "Hi, here's my name. I live at this address. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and this is the car that should be in the drive, and should anything be found amiss, please call my neighbor at this phone number." That's an important component to this, is that we have then someone to reach out to if indeed something is not right. 90% of the time, everything is fine. As a matter of fact, we've had some interesting stories where the citizen will come home and see footprints around their house, and immediately call us and realize, and we'll say, "No, looks like on this date and this date, the officer went out and did a vacation watch just to check and to make sure everything."
So it was their footprints.
Everything is all right. So the police weren't, or the footprints weren't a burglar. It was from the police.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on It's All About You. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful spring.